Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's installment of the Renegade of Wrestling. I am your host, J.J. Williams. I'd like to apologize first and foremost for there being no episode last week. But you know what? With all the hectic stuff going on, all the chaos and disorder, you like what I did?
I like that.
Going on
only took
regarding
you 20 seconds to do one of those. That was good.
Going on regarding all the new shows coming on the channel, I figured, you know what? It's best for me as the executive producer behind the channel, the main man in charge, to take a step back and let all the other talent get their, little promos and first episodes up, Thank you to all 1,500 of you that have watched the first episode of After the Bell with Jeff Meacham. Thank you for all y'all that have checked out the Double Down with B.O.L.A. promo and the Stat Boy Rants promo. Their first episodes are coming very soon. I'm not sure yet if they're going to before me or after me, but we'll see how the fuck the computers run, because goddamn it, that's the most clusterfucky thing in this whole damn house.
Like, we're taping on Sunday, we've been up for 3 days. We don't know what the fuck.
I don't know. Today my topic is going to be a little bit out of the ordinary. I'm not going to cover WWE. I'm not going to cover TNA. I'm going to cover Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Yay!
By far the #1 indie fed in SoCal. I know I might catch heat from a couple of guys for saying that, but the #1 indie fed, dare I say the ROH of the West Coast. I had the opportunity to go to their Battle of Los Angeles tournament, which, similar to the question Jeff touched on about King of the Ring, it's pretty much what took the King of the Ring spot. It's probably the biggest tournament of the year in wrestling.
Well, the Super 8 on the East Coast is pretty high. Yeah.
This is the West Coast Super 8.
Thank you, there we go.
Especially since there were
8 guys this time. Yeah. In the past we've had 16, whatever it is, but they did one night, so.
I personally had not been to a Guerrilla show in almost 4 years. Jeff hadn't been there in 2. I got to ride with a good buddy of mine, John Ian. Big shout out to him and his promotion, Mach 1 Wrestling. And he was like, you and Jeff need to do a lot more coverage on the indie scene and get the word out there. So I took his advice, and while I was sitting there watching B.O.L.A, I took results of the matches. There wasn't a bad fucking match on the card, unlike most WWE or TNA pay-per-views. At least have 1 or 2. There wasn't a bad match on the card, and I just thought I would go through them real quickly, talk about my thoughts on some of the matches, put over Scorpio Sky and some of the other guys, and hopefully this will persuade you guys to go to www.prowrestlingguerrilla.com and check them out, or search for them on YouTube to find some of their videos on there, because they usually post highlights or some of that type of stuff, hype videos building up their feuds.
And remember, Guerrilla's
or go to High Spots and buy their DVDs.
Remember, Guerrilla's like Guerrilla Warfare, not Guerrilla the Animal.
There you go. First match of the night, the homeboy Willie Mack defeated Chris Hero, one of the kings of wrestling. I love Willie. Completely blew me away. Caught me off guard. Me and Jeff were talking about how great it would be to have one more Hero Claudio match in our home promotion, and Hero jobs out in the first match. I looked at Jeff and I was like, okay, maybe this is a sign that Willie is going to take B.O.L.A, and the guy that nobody expected is going to, come up from the ashes here and just totally blow everybody away.
Because he was gone for like a month on an injury angle, so,
Kevin Steen defeated the debuting ex-WWE, WCW, insert many other promotions here, Fit Finlay. Probably one of the most intense, brutal matches I have ever witnessed live until the main event. El Generico defeated the other king of wrestling, Claudio Castagnoli. Again, that one I kind of saw coming, but it still kind of caught me off guard, because here it is, more than likely, the last night we're going to see the Kings of Wrestling out here in SoCal, and both of them dropped out in the first round of the tournament. Totally caught everybody off guard. Lots of please don't goes. For Finlay, there was please come back, because he had that hard fought of a match, and normally when a big guy like Finlay comes out here, it's hard pressed to get that kind of response from the Guerrilla crowd. But that's just how much of his heart and soul he left in the ring, that they wanted him back. And the last opening round match was Eddie Edwards versus Roderick Strong. Again, another sick, intense matchup. All these matches were like very, very strong style matches. And if you don't know anything about these guys, if you don't know anything about Willie Mack, Kevin Steen, El Generico, Eddie Edwards, Roderick Strong, do some research, dude. Go to YouTube, go to Wikipedia, read bios, something. Pretty much everybody knows about the Kings of Wrestling and about Finlay. But the other 5 guys, do some research on these guys, because these guys are freaking awesome. This was my first time seeing Eddie Edwards live, and I was completely blown away. After that, they went to a #1 contendership tag team match, where the Dynasty, Scorpio Sky, and my good buddy Joey Ryan, defeated the Rock Nest Monsters. That match right there was freaking hilarious to me, because Joey and Sky come out there, and Joey's rocking the Christian Hit the Switch shirt, and Scorpio Sky's rocking the John Cena Red Fruity Pebble shirt, coming out freaking actually saluting the camera and the crowd. And the reason behind this, we've already freaking lost Aaron in the background.
He did again.
The reason behind this was because they had just done Raw and SmackDown dark matches, and they were even on SmackDown it was on Raw as Kevin Nash's security. He had Scorpio Sky right next to Half a Natural Selection, Sean Ricker, and we didn't really see Joey, but apparently on the very other end, Joey Ryan was there in security too. So because of that, they came out there freaking representing the C Nation, if you will, and Captain Charisma, and just totally playing the heel role against the Rock Nest Monsters. I pray to God somebody puts that video clip up there on YouTube, because that shit was epicness.
Well, they don't allow filming in there, so if they do, they're going to get fucking deep shit. So.
True, but once the DVD comes out, it's like a little trailer promotional tool, it may end up there.
True.
Then we all went to intermission, me and Jeff are doing a little mingling, talking to the fans, bullshitting. Hey, aren't you the guy from Talk Wrestling? Like, no, I'm the guy from After the Bell. Dad's on wrestling, Doing the whole little new promotional tactics. Talked to Hero and Casting Only, man. We were all set to drop some money on their merch. None of their shit fucking fit us. That's the price you pay for being a fat ass, I guess.
Sucks to be fat.
Came back from intermission, and we go straight into the semifinals, where Willie Mack fell to El Generico, and I was like, "Aww." Thought the underdog was gonna pull it out. Back the Mac. Go buy that yellow shirt of his, because Willie needs the support out there.
I think even Willie wants you to buy the Willie shirt, the yellow shirt. He hates that fucking shirt. Sorry.
Kevin Steen went against Eddie Edwards, and another very strong, very intense matchup, sitting up for the finals of El Generico versus Kevin Steen, which is a feud that Ring of Honor had for the better part of last year. We had not really gotten on the West Coast, so this was a very big carrot dangled in front of our faces. But before we got to that, we got an impromptu tag team title match between the former TNA Generation Me, aka the Young Bucks, who totally came out there shitting on TNA, by the way. I think it was Nick was doing the whole RVD point and the spin kick and everything. Just fucking hilarious to their Hanson Mbop. Seriously, like, it took those two guys to make Hanson cool again. Like, seriously, if they were ever cool to begin with, don't start trolling me on that shit. But it took those two awesome athletes to get a crowd of 500 macho-ass wrestling fans to clap along and sing Mbop.
Fuck shit.
And they defended the belts against the Kings of Wrestling, and once again, the Mighty Kings fell. Granted, it was a screw job. Granted, one of the Bucks had their feet on the ropes. But seriously, y'all couldn't let the Kings get one match and was possibly their last night. I think that's a little bit of bullshit. Main event, El Generico versus Kevin Steen to win the 2011 Battle of Los Angeles.
Imagine what Johnny
Like I said, the Steen and Finley match was one of the most intense matches I had ever seen until that match. When they got to live out that Ring of Honor feud out here in front of us, I mean, they just ran to the ring, proceeded to beat the shit out of each other. The freaking ring announcer, John, didn't even get the formal announcement out until they were already beating the piss out of each other. There was a crowd chant of Little Jimmy to a little kid that was wearing an El Generico mask. I'm going to get to that in a second myself, too, but Kevin Steen totally turned up the douchiness in that match. Totally played up the heel role. He just kind of been like mild heel all night, but as soon as that match with Generico came out, he went into super douche. Like, you heard Stat Boy talk about Super Cena. Kevin Steen went into super douche. Seriously. All in all, I think PWG's Battle of Los Angeles 2011 is one of the best indie cards from top to bottom I may have ever seen. Definitely in a long time, possibly ever. I highly recommend that all my fans out there go to www.prowrestlingguerrilla, GUERILLA.com, double R's.com, or go to highspots.com when B.O.L.A comes out and purchase this DVD. You will not be disappointed. Now, again, forgive me because I'm not exactly sure when this episode is going up. You heard Stat Boy rant, or maybe you haven't yet, but the Renegade of Wrestling has got his own little rant that he needs to get off of his chest, and I'm being told I have 3 minutes, so I'm going to try to run through this very quickly. And did I just hear myself say 3 minutes?
We got Mr. Moans in the trap!
So, this is the Renegade of Wrestling's guidelines to an indie wrestling show.
Oh, man.
Rule number 1, please, please, pretty please, do not wear a t-shirt from WWE or TNA to an independent wrestling show unless the talent is actually going to be there. I saw probably the most ghetto-ass, bootlegged Kurt Angle t-shirt I've ever seen in my life at the show last night. Among the sea of about 10 CM Punk shirts. What else was there? There was...
Guy wearing a SummerSlam shirt.
Yeah, there was a SummerSlam t-shirt. There was... John Cena shirt, I think, was even in there.
But get shot.
Please, do not wear a t-shirt for one of the big two unless the guy you're wearing a shirt for is actually going to be there. If somebody had a Finley shirt and was rocking it, would have been one thing. But nobody had a Finley shirt. Finley wasn't even selling merch, which boggled my mind. Number 2, you don't have to stand up throughout the entire fucking match. I'm mainly bringing this one up because, as y'all know, when me and Jeff and the crew go to stuff, we tend to roll with Jade, who's in a wheelchair, who cannot stand up on her own. She saw maybe half of the show. Getting the wrap up, but I just got one more thing I'm going to go over really quickly, and if I go a few seconds over my time limit, so be it. Fuck it. The back and forth chanting.
Oh, God, yes.
Let's go Steen, let's go Finley, let's go Generico, let's go Eddie, what the fuck, please stop chanting. Seriously, I do not think there was but maybe 5 minutes the entire night, not counting before the show started, intermission, and post-show, where there wasn't a fucking chant. And it was, most of the time, the back and forth. Let's go Wrestler A, let's go Wrestler B. Seriously? Like 5 minutes ago, y'all were fucking booing the Young Bucks. And now you're out there trying to ride their nutsack into a chant. shut the fuck up. And on the chanting, don't chant something that's a WWE chant, like the Little Jimmy thing. I turned and I looked at Jeff, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? People all, Little Jimmy, wrong promotion, Little Jimmy, wrong promotion.
If anything, it should have been Little Jose as a Generico guy.
So please,
sorry.
Heed these warnings when you go to an indie show. They're not anything too extreme. They're not anything that's not common sense. Wear wrestling shirts, that's fine, but don't wear one of the main two promotions unless the guy you're wearing is actually going to fucking be there. Sit your ass down, because I didn't pay $25 to stand up the whole fucking night. I didn't pay $25 for somebody to hold up their freaking t-shirt in front of me while I'm trying to take pictures. And please, knock off the back and forth chanting. Sometimes the best chant to hear at a wrestling show is to hear an entire section of people that's just fed up chant, "Shut the fuck up." Till next time, I'm the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams. I'll see you around.